So let's get started. So this is our first Preseen Analysis class, and today we shall be doing the Preseen Analysis. We shall dissect it. I will tell you, some things that the examiner can come up with in the unseen. Also, today we would draft our cover page. Here's a list of the exhibits. One about you and your employer. Second is about Dudley Cement Nigeria Limited, which is DCN. Then third is the 3-year financial summary. And last is about the proposed growth strategies. Then here's exhibit 1. First of all, before I start discussion on the exhibit, this year when I tried to research on it, I saw that it's quite similar to the information on Dangote Cement. The normal Dangote Cement you all know. So the information we have in this person is quite similar. And I'll tell you how it's similar. The things I saw, surely communicate that to you. So let's get started. Here we have exhibit 1. Exhibit 1 is about you. Who are you in this case? You are Thomas Chukwudi. So in no case should you change your name. As far as this case study exam is concerned, this is your name. This is your name as far as case study exam is concerned. And this is your employer, Chikwelu Adedigba, Kamal and Co. All those and Co companies. I know some of us work with them. They are like the small and medium audit firms. So this is your employer. I told that you are a prospective ICAN chartered accountant working for Chukwelu Adedigba, Kamal and Co. chartered accountant. You report to Dare Adedigba. Dare is a partner of your company. Do you get that? So in this case now, here we can decide or we can ascertain if we are to draft an internal report or an external report. During the free Preseen Analysis class yesterday, many suggested it's precipitate. We are to draft an internal report, no external report, no this, no that. So, and today we will know the main reason. I think I highlighted the reason in the free class yesterday. But let me explain to you in detail now. So here now we have it about you. So here now you are who? You are Chukwudi Thomas. About you, Chukwudi Thomas. So Chukwudi Thomas, you work for which company? Chukwelu Adedigba, Kamal and Co. That's the company you work for. So this is the company you work for. Then use it now. How you would determine or ascertain whether you are to draft an internal report or an external report is that you will check which company or who are you reporting to. That is, who are you addressing the report to? That's the best word. So now, who are you addressing the report to? So who you are addressing the report to here, you would know you get the answer to that in exhibit 5. That will be in the unseen. So but I have come up with a predicted unseen for you, and let me show you. Here's the predicted unseen. This is exhibit 5. I told that you received a mail from who? Your boss, Dare Adedigba. Dare Adedigba sent you a mail stating that you should do the following. But before what you are to do, you're told that you should draft or review a report addressed to the board of Dudley Cement Nigeria PLC. So basically, you're addressing the report to Dudley, the board of directors of Dudley Cement. Yes. So who are you addressing the report to? So the answer is BOD of Dudley Cement Nigeria PLC. So though there's this confusion in this Preseen, at times they'll use PLC for Dudley, at times they'll use limited. So I guess that's a typo error, from your examiner or from the person that said the question. So it's a typo error. You see that, here is what? Dadley Cement Nigeria PLC. In some places you will see limited. Yeah, e.g. like this, you see limited. So I guess, the person was trying to convert, Dangote to Dadley, and maybe forgot to remove the PLC or something like that. That's just my own guess anyway. So now you've seen that addressing the report toward the BOD, the Board of Directors of Dadley Cement Nigeria PLC. So in this case now, are you writing an internal report or an external report? So that's the question. Basically, you're writing an external report. So you're writing an external report. So, and the reason why you're writing an external report is because you are addressing the report to an outsider. That is, the board of directors is of another company, which is Dadley. Your own company is what? Chukwuelu, Adedigba, Kamal and Co. But you're addressing the report to what? The board of directors of another company. So that's why it's an external report. So in this case now, we've been able to answer that question. So I feel at this point and from now onward, no one is confused about whether it's an internal report or an external report. So the next discussion is about your responsibilities. So your responsibilities, that is, you are Thomas Chukwudi, and your responsibilities in the organization you work for. You are to prepare detailed financial analysis and reports as may be required by your firm's client. You have to analyze the financial statements. You have to assess the business proposals. You have to assess the client's financial and business forecast. You also to draft the report. So though this is usually common, this is usually your responsibility, and this is what your unseen will be based on. It won't be outside that scope. So in that case now, to give you an idea that my unseen, there will be financial statement analysis there. They will ask me to assess business proposals. They will ask me to assess what risk associated to the proposals. Or they will ask me to write a report. So these are what your unseen will be based on. And that's why I've come up with this predicted unseen, just for you and you alone. Also, your job would require you to be abreast of the business and economic environment, both nationally and internationally, so as to be able to carry out the above tasks effectively. So what we're saying there is that is you should be aware of the current trends, right, and how they can affect Dadley's operation. So that's what it's talking about. So you need to take note of that very, very. So Exhibit 2, this is based on Dadley's information. Yeah, so here you would get adequate information about Dadley. So first thing here is the history of Dadley. So Dadley was incorporated in Nigeria in 1956. And it commenced production in June 1959. So it established plant in Aba in 1957. It established plant in Kaduna 1973. It also in 1981 it had one of the biggest cement company in the country in terms of capital investment. So also another one is added to Ogun State. In September 2003, it added the fifth plant to Enugu, right? And in October 2013, the sixth plant, it's also situated in Enugu with more than 3 million metric tons per annum. So let's note that. So, and the 3 million metric tons per annum capacity is the largest cement plant in Nigeria at present. Yeah. So here now you will see that Dadley, exhibits some competence in this case. That is, it has one of the largest cement plants. So in this case now, this would this will translate into a strength to Dadley, because Dadley will be able to meet the customer's demand. In the later aspect of the Preseen, we see that the company wants to expand its operation to, to areas where it is not, it does not have any presence. So in that case now it will be easier, because it's more like someone having a very big plant. You get that? So in this case now, the company should have access to to finances. You get? Yeah. So definitely to expand its operations, we would also need to give advice, in the unseen, in your exhibit, on how they can finance. Yeah. So all this we'll discuss them. Yeah, we'll discuss them. So also we're told that this yen is listed on the floor of Nigeria Stock Exchange. It is a publicly traded company. Fantastic. That is, it is a PLC. It is a public company, basically. And that's what I was expecting us to mention. So thereby, access to funds won't be an issue, years, and so many other things like that. So that is to confirm that the limited that was here, it's a mistake. This limited. Maybe they copied the former Preseen and they forgot to remove the PLC, I guess, because usually it has usually been the case. Even at times the exam question, there might be error and it will be obvious. So in this case now, we've noted that the company is a public company. So in this case, access to capital, the company has to strictly comply with corporate governance. That's very cogent. Yeah, they will have some corporate governance issues which will be highlighting in the later aspect of this Preseen. But you just have to take note that the corporate governance has to be top notch. Yeah, company has to comply strictly with the code of corporate governance. All right. So now, as at 31st December 2020, the company had market capitalization of 448 billion, and it's making it one of the largest cement company in Nigeria by market capitalization. So which means that the company would, has a large market share. Then it's just for the company to utilize that, because it is strength. It is strength to the company. So it's for the company to utilize that. All right. So also here, this year has received several awards in the capital market, including NSE President's Merit Award in the cement sector, the NSE Quoted Company of the Year Award, the NSE CEO's Distinguished Award for Compliance. That is, the company is strictly complying. That's what it means. The NSE CEO's Award as the most compliant listed company on the Nigeria Stock Exchange. So here now, this information, is quite similar to that of Dangote Cement Nigeria PLC. So there's a news on that. I saved it. So it was at 2017. Yeah, I'm right. So you can see Dangote Cement bags NSE Most Compliant Listed Company Award. So just to prove to you that it was Dangote company information, Dangote Cement information that was copied. Yeah, so but it's just for our own favor anyway. Let's just note that, though it might have some importance to us, but we'll still come into that anyway. Yeah, still come into that. All right, let's note that. Let's note that. So here now, the company is also a recipient of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria Award of Excellence, in corporate governance as corporate category. So which means our company complies strictly with corporate governance, as well as the Institute of Directors Nigeria Corporate Governance Award. The company is even winning award for complying with corporate governance. So we'll now see if the company is actually complying with corporate governance or not. So the answer that this award is a reflection of the company's continued commitment to excellence in corporate governance matters. That is, the company is trying, strong in terms of compliance with corporate governance, and the awards are evidence. They are evidence of that. And company is winning award. Yes. So the next is that this year, in its operational performance, is also a recipient of several awards and recognition, such as product quality, marketing excellence, productivity and innovation, health and safety, CSR and sustainability. Yeah, CSR and sustainability. Yes, the company is what? The company also receive award in this regard. But I'll still reference this thing where I'm coming. I'll reference that in the later aspect of our analysis. I'll reference that. But let's take note of that too. So then the competitors. The major competitors for Dadley are Dangote PLC and Nigerian Cement PLC. So Dadley, Dangote and Nigerian Cement control approximately 90% of the market for cement in Nigeria. That is, these are the big players in the markets, and Dadley being one of the major players in the market, it should use it for, it should exploit that, so as to improve its operations. Yeah, because for you to be one of the major players in the market, then it's a big one. It's a big plus to the company also. It's a big plus to the company. So let's note that. Yeah, let's note that. So here now in your scene, I'm suggesting, or should I say I'm thinking, that in as part of your requirement, that is requirement 1, you can be asked to benchmark you can be asked to benchmark Dadley's performance with that of the 2 major competitors. That's evident here. As it is evident in my requirement 1. That is, you can be told, you can be given financial indicators, so thereby you will now benchmark. Do you get that? So let me show you the financial indicators I'm referring to. So these are the financial indicators I'm referring to. Here it's stated in my exhibit 7. Do you get that? So here I have key financial indicators for 2018, 19, and 20. So, and these are the competitors' key indicators. So Dadley and Nigeria Cement. Dangote and Nigeria Cement for 2019 and 2020. Though here we'll use this for our financial statement analysis. Now we use that. So let's note that anyway. Let's note that. So then also that the 3 companies have production plants across the company with sales depot and distributors in major cities in the country. So that is, they are distributed across the country. The sales depot and also distributors. Yeah, so we also know that. So based on what we've discussed here now up to this point, and if you have any questions, any additions, to what I've said.
Sir, please, I don't understand the competitors aspect. What are we expected to do, or maybe analyze the information we are supposed to get from it?
Okay, let me answer that. So here now, as part of my forecast or my expectation, as I showed you here, I said that I am expecting that in your exhibits, maybe exhibit 7 or so, you'll be given financial indicators of the competitors. So you'll be asked to benchmark Dadley's performance with that of the competitors. So, and in my predicted unseen, I've come up with the information already. So it's just for us to analyze it together. Do you get that? So you don't have any issue about that. Just for us to analyze it together. That's all. So do you get my question? And is there any other question? Do you get my answer?
Sorry,
and
sir.
Is there any other question? Okay, I'm with you.
Concerning the PLC and the limited, if it's not corrected when we see the unseen, can we point it out in the report or something? Or it's not relevant enough?
Okay, well, if I want to point it out from my own view, I feel it's just typo error anyway. I feel so, but I want to also point it out, that there's a conflicting, I mean, there are conflicting information. We are told that is limited, but the information is stating otherwise. It might even be part of what the examiner wants you to identify. Yes, it's my part of it. So, think it will still persist in your unseen. You can point it out for the examiner that now that we said that this year is listed on the floor of stock exchange, why are we still saying that is a limited? Come on, it's a PLC. Yeah, so you can state it you can state it in your report. All right.
I think is an error, because looking at the board of directors and management, they said Dudley Cement PLC. They wrote it in the Preseen. I don't know if anybody is saying it.
Yeah, definitely, it's there. It's there. Even this thing, there's PLC there. Yes, I know. But I'm just saying that now there's PLC, there's also limited.
Limited.
As I was saying, it's conflicting. Look at the heading here too. Is limited. So, and I feel what I did here, is they try to copy a particular question. They just change the name. That's what I see there. That's the clear thing I'm saying there. Just change.
The financial position, they still is limited.
Exactly. So you can see. So I feel it's just rushing. Even they dropped it lesser than the 14 days. It was about 13 days or so. So I feel it's rushing though. So note this, you'll be required to benchmark this performance with the competitor's performance. Yes, note that. So that will be part of your financial statement analysis. I haven't noted that. So here we have the board. Yeah, board of management. The board of Dudley. So here we have Chief Komi Odeku, the chairman, Mr. This, Water, the MD. I know some people are there this in the person. I don't want to remove my teeth with this name. So we have Mr. Andrew Young, Finance Director, Mr. Mark CGB, Marketing and Distribution Director. Then we have the Mr. Thompson Chukura, that's the non-executive director. Mrs. Sarah Pabio, non-executive, Mr. Anu Famiwa, non-executive. So we would observe something here. This is anything like independent non-executive director. And this is a company that we said it is always complying with corporate governance. But from your own view now, do you think this company is actually complying with corporate governance?
Though what we are given to them, but I think that's one of the expectations that is expected of us to resolve. Left to me, if I am being asked, I wouldn't really say they are not complying, because merely looking at the board structure and the board composition, I feel there's a little bit of bias, which is probably a sign of non compliance to corporate governance. Thank you.
Yeah, great. That's a very nice attempt. So, like I said, there might be appearing to be compliant. That is okay. Yeah, they have MD, they have non-executive directors. This company is complying. Yeah.
My own contribution will have that since they have, if you look at their composition, they also have non-executive directors, and by virtue of having all these structures, it implies that to some extent they comply with the corporate governance issues.
Sorry, I feel I will counter that a bit. Reason being that if truly they are complying, I feel there are some certain positions that is being included in the corporate governance, that is not included as part of the positions that they have both executive directors and non-executive directors. So I can just say they are partially complying, not fully complying.
Okay, I think the requirement for independent non-executive director is a mandatory requirement of the Code of Corporate Governance, which they have not complied with.
I'm glad we are all giving very nice attempts. Yeah, someone said they are complying to an extent. Yeah, someone said they are compliant to an extent. Yes, no argument. But the Code of Corporate Governance, what does it say? Does it say that, okay, you can comply to an extent? That, okay, I mean, afterwards, it's not necessary to comply fully. You know, you can comply to an extent. So do we have any maybe code that we have with us that says that okay, no, it's not compulsory to comply fully with this code. You know, you can comply to an extent or you can comply partially. You know, have we come across anything like that? So definitely you won't.
Compliance is compliance. Not
exactly.
Partially comply. So they are award-winning. They recognize their compliance level, and as really as you know, by what was read out to us in one of the exhibits, they confirmed to us that they have been complying, and to an extent we can say they are trying, but really, merely looking at the board and management structure, it is obvious that they are not complying.
Yeah, what they got is just Nigerian factor.
Great. The Nigerian factor. Fantastic. So I'm curious. A lady is trying to ask a question. Maybe her voice is not loud enough. Can you ask your question again?
The meaning of independent NED and the dependent, I don't understand. I thought the NED is the same thing. So I don't understand the meaning of independence there.
Yeah, and the composition, both the executive director and non-executive director, I don't think there's an independent party there, such as internal control, audit, or compliance department. We can see varieties of head of department, head of supply chain, head of marketing. All these functions are occupied, but the independent party, and this as required by the code of conduct, is absent in the board structure. So I think this part of a way to assess their compliance level.
So this is the composition of the board. You know, according to what you learned to your CSME or NG. So you can see we have the composition of the board. We have the chairman, deputy chairman. That's sometimes, you know, that is not, it's optional. It's not compulsory. You know, and here the chairman must be an executive director, but is more usually a non-executive director. Okay, noted. Deputy chairman, CEO too has to be on the board. So because he's an executive director. That's the so here now so all these are what will correlate to what we have here. You understand? So the other executive directors, yeah. Do you have executive directors here? So we'll come back to confirm. Then other non-executive directors. The other non-executive directors, this is it. Okay, we're told that the size of the board, should not be less than 5 and should not exceed 15. So we check. Is it right? These are what we check for, the numbers of the people on the board. I also correlate something which is integral. But before I go to that thing, let's talk about the independence, non-executive director first. Under other non-executive directors, we have the non-executive, they are NEDs, and the NEDs are not employee of the company, they are not full-time together. So also let's talk about their independence. All directors should show independence of character. They should be able to hold their own views, and okay, there should be independence, nothing more. We are coming to that. So, but we will also assess the independence of the directors that we have on that board, right? Likewise, the independent directors, it is argued that the board of directors should consist partly of independent directors. So who is an independent director? That is independent net in this case now. The individual who has no link to a special interest group or stakeholder group such as executive management, other employees of the company, a major stakeholder, a major shareholder, a supplier, or a major supplier or customer, and they have no significant personal interest in the company, such as contractual relationship. That is, they should not be involved in the company at all. The independent non-executive director should be they should be strictly independent. Even the non-executive directors too, they should be strictly independent. But not just that. Not all not all non-executive directors are independent. Anyways, do you get that? So not all of them, but there should be independent non-executive director on the board. That's what the code of corporate governance states.